Hey everybody, we're Steve and Audra, and we've been doing van life for 5 years now.
Last episode, we shared what we've learned after 5 years, as well as some of the things we'd change about our Ford Transit camper van and how we do van life.
Today we'd like to share with you the top 10 things we love about our van and our van build.
So the first thing is that we really like the van that we have. It's a 2019 high-roof Ford Transit cargo van that we've converted to a camper van.
One of the reasons we chose the Ford Transit van over some of the other choices was because we heard that it's easier to work on, easier to find garages that have mechanics that know how to work on the van. It's easier to find parts. And one of the other things we love about the Ford Transit high roof is that it offers a few extra inches of head space compared to the next closest model of the ProMaster. Just a few inches difference really made a big difference for us for obvious reasons.
Exhibit A. So we do love the Ford. We, so far after 5 years, have not had any problems with it, so it's been great. We're really happy with that choice. The other things we really like about it, number one, the length. It's a standard wheelbase, not extended. It's a little bit less than 20 feet, which
Bumper to
means,
bumper.
yeah, which means we can fit anywhere. We can fit in a regular parking spot. The other thing is inside. It's about 60 square feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we find that that's enough for us. Just recently in our last episode, we decided before we wanted to start this next season of travel, we wanted to do an inventory and purge some things. So especially after doing that, we really have plenty of space. We have some extra space in our cabinets. I would say we pretty much have everything we need. There are some things that would be nice to have in here, but we are really fine without them, so we're really happy with it.
One of the things we like about our build is the open layout, which means most people build some sort of section right here, and we decided not to do that. Instead, we kept this area open.
Yeah, and how that plays out, most people, if they have more of a galley setup, if there were two of them, they'd kind of have to shimmy by each other. But we don't have to do that because we have more space here. Also, we can open our slider door and sit here and just really kind of have that space to relax and look out, and there's nothing blocking our view. So personally for us, we just really like that. It feels more open and comfortable.
So there's always trade-offs when you're building out a van. And one of the trade-offs with not building out this section here by the slider door is, of course, you have less storage. But then positive is you have extra space and you can move around a bit more easily with two people.
The next thing that we really love about our van build is the simplicity of our utilities and how we've set everything up. The first thing with that would be our plumbing. We decided to keep it really simple. We didn't do a motor for our water. We did a simple foot pump. So all we need to do is open the door, use our foot to pump, and the water comes out. And then down below we have two 6-gallon tanks, one for the fresh water, one for the gray water. We love that having the foot pump, we don't go through a lot of water, we don't use as much as if you had a regular pump, and not much can go wrong because it's so simple.
So another aspect of our utilities that we really like is our electric setup. We have the EcoFlow Delta 2. It's a simple plug-and-play battery system, and for us it just made sense. Because we didn't have to build out all the components, which neither of us were really comfortable with. I think overall it's probably cheaper than doing it. Now with this particular model, it only has a little over 1,000 watt hours, so it's a little on the small side, but for us it works. What helps is our three 100 watt flexible solar panels that we have mounted on the roof. That helps to keep our battery charged, and we also have an inverter that we can turn on while we're driving that helps to keep the battery charged up. So overall, we really love the EcoFlow Delta 2. It's simple and it really meets our needs.
Yeah, we really love the setup. We think it is cheaper, as Steve said, and there's less things that can go bad. There's all those different components that something could go wrong with, and we don't have to worry about that. We also like that with those solar panels Steve mentioned, we didn't have to drill any holes into the roof. We don't have to have a roof rack. and it's a low profile, so it's not as obvious, and I guess I would say also less wind resistance. So overall, we like that. And the inverter has been a huge game changer for us because it charges so quickly for our unit. Before we had the inverter, it would take, I don't know, would you say, like, how long to charge? Several hours?
Yeah, several.
While we were driving. Since we added the inverter, we can charge the whole unit in probably about an hour, 2 max, I would say. So the plumbing and the power are the two biggest things, but we like that we have kept everything else simple as well when it comes to the utility related items. So we don't have a shower in here other than a portable shower bag, and that's worked fine for us. We like that we don't have all that space taken up by a shower. We go to Planet Fitness, and if there's no Planet Fitness, we find alternatives to get showers, and we've had no problem. We also have a pretty simple toilet setup that's more for emergencies. It's nice because it's actually a dining room chair that we can use around the van if we want to do work or things like that. But we take the top off, and inside there's just a bucket with some bags for number 2. In the front there's a funnel and a bottle for number 1. And we actually have a toilet seat that we can put on there. So it's something we might want to change in the future, but it's simple and it's worked. So we've been content with that. The other thing is that we have a 12-volt fridge. We've had that since we've been full-time, and that was a game changer. We used to have a 110 fridge that we used more like a cooler, so having the 12-volt was a game changer. Another thing that we are really glad we have is this Coleman gas camp stove. We pull it out, use it up here on the countertop. We also like that we can take it out of the van and use it there as well, so it's versatile, but then when we're not using it, we have all this countertop space. If it was built in or something, that would really change things, since this is all the counter space we have. In such a small space, versatility is key, so I personally love what we've done for tables. First of all, we did our own version of a Lagoon table mount. We used a plumbing pipe and some other components, and it was a lot cheaper than the Lagoon mount, and we think it works better. So basically, we have a table that we store under our bed, we pull it out, and we can put it here, and we can swivel our seat and sit and work at the table. We can put a chair by the table. It's pretty big size, so it's worked out great. Also, what I love even more, because we don't actually use that bigger table as much. We only use that if we're parked somewhere for longer periods of time, which with how we do van life isn't very often. What I like even more than the big table is that we had a smaller piece of wood left over that we used that is super versatile, and we've used it a lot. We store it right here in our closet. This piece of wood here has been perfect. So essentially, we can open our cabinet doors, set it here, pull up the chair, and work here. Or when I'm up in bed, I can get up in bed, put it in my lap and work with a pillow underneath, or use it in the front seat, same way. And it doesn't matter if the seat is swiveled forward or backwards, it works both ways. So this little thing has been amazing. We open up our cabinet doors and just put the table right on there. We can pull up a chair, have the computer here, and work. We can also use it when we're cooking. We can put stuff up here so we have more counter space. So we love it. And we can just slide it right back in. Voila!
So one of the things we like about our van build is our fixed bed. First of all, the mattress itself is about 14 inches and very soft, so very comfortable bed. When we go to visit friends and family, they often invite us to stay in their guest room, but we always decline because, quite frankly, we really like this bed. It's very comfortable. One of the other benefits of having a fixed bed is all the storage that it provides underneath, which is the garage space. And that does provide a lot of space. We're able to cram a lot in there, from our bikes to inflatable raft to a lot of other random things. So it really works out.
Yeah, our bed is super comfy. I love it. I'd rather sleep on it than anywhere else, and I think it's actually more comfortable than the bed we had when we had a regular house. And that brings us here to the garage. As Steve said, we have the fixed bed, and because of that, we have all of this storage, which is really great living in the van full time. It gives us space for our bikes, which we love to use. It has room for 2 big bins, and in these bins we have an inflatable kayak, some inner tubes, other things, seasonal items. We have room for extra water, tools, and other things. So it's really great having all this space. Something else that we really like about our build that we think is pretty unique is that when we built it, we extended the bed platform and we did this ledge back here. And we designed it so it actually fits the contour of the back doors. And the nice thing about that is it gives me space when I'm up here in bed to access things. I have my pajamas and stuff for nighttime here. I have some extra things here. When we are parked somewhere really pretty, we can actually sit up here and put our feet here on the ledge. And also, when it's colder climates, it acts as a barrier when it's colder down below, kind of blocks that cold air from coming up here. So it just gives us an added level of coziness and warmth. And we also did something else that we've never seen before. We built a frame up around the top, and we can actually put a screen in there. It's a screen that you'd use in a house. We can put it up in there if we want to keep bugs out, if we want to have the back doors open. And it works well with this curtain that we can also use for privacy. The other thing is that I really didn't want to have the metal of the back doors showing. I wanted to make it feel homey. So we actually finished the back doors, which were a challenge, but I'm really glad we did it. Something that I think is very unique for our build that we don't see with any other builds is our cabinets and how we built them. Most people that do van builds do really shallow cabinets and the doors lift up. I'm not sure why everybody does that, because we really thought about how everything fits together, and we thought we could do these cabinets that are a lot higher. The doors open out, and it fits a lot more stuff, and we still have plenty of space, because here obviously just our feet need to go here, and this works out great. Same here in the front for the kitchen. So with most van builds, the cabinets would probably come to, I would say, about maybe here, and maybe that's because it's more of a galley kind of design and people are worried about hitting their heads, or the doors, you know, would lift up instead of coming at them. But with how we've done it and figured it, we can open the doors, and since we have all this space, we don't have to worry about hitting our head. And I would say we have 2 or 3 times the amount of space because we've designed them this way. A lot of space. To continue with our vertical cabinets, my favorite thing is that we actually have a floor-to-ceiling closet. Love it. I love how much space we have here. Lots of space up in our top shelf. And then we have room for all of our hanging clothes, which we planned. We measured everything out to make sure we could hang clothes here. A full-length mirror. And then storage in the bottom for our laundry, laptops, and other things. So I love it. One of the other things we really like about our build is having a swivel seat. We're really glad we installed it. It was a colossal pain to install, and it took way longer than we thought, but we're really glad we have it. Usually we use it when we're parked somewhere longer, like at least a day or two, and when those kind of scenarios occur, it's really nice to be able to turn it around and have a spot to relax a little bit more. You can lounge a little bit more than our regular chairs, and it just opens up the space quite a bit. So our kitty is actually in the front seat now, so I'm not going to swivel it now, but we do have some footage from the past that we can show you. The swivel seat has been used well by all of us, including our kitty girl.
Yeah, can you just...
Last, my favorite thing about the build were all the little things that we did to make it feel like a home and to do it affordably. as much as possible, I didn't want it to feel like a van. So we tried to cover all the metal spaces on the van and to be creative about how we did it on a low budget. So we used a lot of salvaged wood. I feel like we did creative things to finish the walls all around here. I also did all the artwork that's on the walls. We don't have a lot of wall space, so we tried to be creative about what we did. There are things that I painted with sayings that reflect this lifestyle and that I thought would be fun. Things like this. Home is where we park it. And we tried to use all the space we had. So we did the shelf up here and tried to personalize it with pictures and sayings and verses that we like and things like this. Just personal touches that we can keep some things in the van with us that have significance and reflect kind of some of our life before and since we've been in the van, and to do it creatively and with a little space that we have. The last two things that I think are worth pointing out is our cat door. We haven't seen this in any other van build. It's something we also did in our house for the cat litter access. We cut out the shape of a cat for her to go in and out, and we think that's really fun. And finally, the light switches. I knew I didn't want the light switches that are made for like boats and things like that. I wanted it to look like home, so we made sure to get light switches that you would find in a house, and I love them. So overall, I would say that we are really happy with our van and our build. We have loved having it, living part-time and full-time in it over the last 5 years.
Yeah, a lot of people ask if we would build another one, and my answer to that one right now is I really like to enjoy this one, and we are.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we hope you've enjoyed what we've shared, found it helpful or interesting, and we hope you'll continue following along with us as we enjoy this van and travel more.
Thanks for watching. As always, we love hearing from you, so please drop us a comment below. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. And until next one, we'll see ya.
And that brings us to the garage.
I can't think of anything that I would change, any major things that I would change.
I was gonna say that we just did a video about what we changed. This is where we're going to leave you for this episode. If you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron by using the link on the screen that we've also included in the video description, along with information about today's adventure and our channel. A special thank you to all our patrons. We appreciate your ongoing support. Thanks for coming along with us on this van life adventure. Please take a second to hit the like button below, leave a comment to let us know you're watching, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget, you can also connect with us and see my photos of the places we visit on our Facebook and Instagram. See you next time for more adventure.